Welcome to Mysteries and Crime, where darkness lingers in the corners of forgotten headlines. Tonight's case is as chilling as it is real. Javed Iqbal, the man who claimed to have murdered 100 boys in one of Pakistan's most haunting and disturbing criminal sagas. Clue question: what drove Javed Iqbal to confess so publicly and so precisely? In the heart of Lahore, Pakistan, during the late 1990s, young boys began disappearing, often without notice. Between 1998 and 1999, reports emerged of dozens gone missing. Their ages? Most were between 6 and 16. Then, one man made a claim so horrifying, the country froze. It began with a letter. On December 30th, 1999, a neatly folded confession arrived at the offices of a prominent Pakistani newspaper and a local police station. Its author, a man named Javed Iqbal. His claim? That he had murdered 100 boys, dismembered their bodies, and disposed of the remains in barrels of acid. The letter was eerily specific. He named victims, he gave locations, he mocked law enforcement. Police rushed to the address listed in the letter, house number 321 in the Mozang area of Lahore. Inside they found barrels filled with acid, still bubbling, scattered belongings of young boys, school books, sandals, child-sized clothing. On the walls, a list of 100 names had been handwritten in Urdu, each name allegedly representing a victim. Some were marked with ticks, some crossed out. The air reeked of chemicals and death. But the man himself, he was nowhere to be found. The confession closed with these chilling lines. "This is not a joke. I am Javed Iqbal. I have avenged my own suffering by killing 100 children. Now, you come find me." The city panicked. The manhunt began. The victims were the invisible children of Lahore. Most were boys between the ages of 6 and 16. Many were runaways, street children, orphans. Some had left home after fights. Others worked small jobs, shoe shining, plastic picking, selling sweets at bus stops. They were boys the system had overlooked, boys who had no one to notice when they vanished. According to reports, many were last seen near bus terminals, local parks, or wandering near the Ravi River. Witnesses recalled a man offering food, small gifts, or sometimes promises of work or shelter. He didn't target children from affluent families. He allegedly chose those who would not be missed. Boys who had already disappeared from society's view long before he took them. Some parents came forward after the confession, clutching photographs, school reports, anything to prove their son was real, that he mattered. In one heart-wrenching account, a father described how his 10-year-old son vanished while running an errand for bread. Another family had searched for over a year, visiting police stations, pasting posters, receiving no response until Javed's letter surfaced. Police compiled a list, but confirming the identities of all 100 boys proved nearly impossible. The acid had erased most physical evidence, yet their names, handwritten by the killer himself, became a chilling memorial on the wall of House 321. Javed Iqbal Mughal was no ordinary man and no ordinary killer. Born in Lahore in 1956, Javed was the son of a wealthy businessman. He lived a life of comfort, privilege, and privacy. He owned a home, a car, and ran a video rental store. In his spare time, he collected snakes and reportedly had a pet crocodile. But beneath the surface, something darker stirred. According to his writings, Javed had suffered abuse in his youth. He claimed he had once been raped by a group of men, and that his crimes were revenge, not madness. Before the murders, Javed had already been on police radar, arrested multiple times for unnatural offenses, a euphemism under Pakistan's penal code at the time. But charges never stuck. Victims were too afraid to testify. Police often looked the other way. In his chilling confession, Javed wrote, "I killed 100 children. It is not madness, it is punishment." He documented everything, allegedly kept photos of the boys, wrote diary entries after each murder, and listed their names meticulously. He operated from his home, sometimes with the help of teenage accomplices, 2 of whom were later arrested. They allegedly lured victims, helped dispose of bodies, and lived in the same house of horrors. When the manhunt began, Javed disappeared. Some believed he fled to the mountains. Others thought he had powerful protection. But the truth would emerge weeks later, in a way no one expected. The method was systematic. According to his own confession, Javed Iqbal lured boys into his Mozang Road residence, a 2-story building with curtained windows and bolted doors, just minutes from a bustling Lahore marketplace. He offered food, money, sometimes shelter. Many of the boys were hungry. Most were alone. Once inside, the horror began. Victims were allegedly drugged or strangled with a length of rope, described in some reports as a cloth cord kept specifically for the act. He claimed it was quick and painless. But forensic experts would later question that claim, noting signs of struggle in the items recovered. After the murder, Javed wrote that he would photograph the victim's face, a chilling ritual, creating a trophy before dismembering the body. He kept detailed records, names, dates, descriptions. Some entries allegedly included the boy's age, where he was found, and how he died. Then came the disposal. According to law enforcement, large plastic drums were found in the house, filled with industrial acid, still actively dissolving organic material at the time of discovery. The acid was believed to be sulfuric, purchased under false business names. Body parts were immersed, left for hours, sometimes days. Clothing and personal items were either burned or kept. In a small box, police reportedly found wristwatches, buttons, school ID tags. Javed's notes stated he cleaned the floors with bleach. He sealed the room after each killing. The only noise neighbors reported hearing? Occasional music and the sound of children playing, but there were no children. Allegedly, he carried out most of the murders alone, though 2 young men were later charged as accomplices. They were believed to have assisted in selecting targets, luring them to the house, and helping with disposal. One chilling detail emerged from a surviving witness, a street vendor, who claimed he had seen several boys enter the home, but never saw them leave. In one documented case, a boy tried to escape, screaming down the street in the middle of the night. Neighbors reported the noise, but no action was taken. The boy was never seen again. Police believe the crimes occurred over a span of approximately 18 months, from late 1998 through to late 1999. It is unknown how many were killed in total. Some experts doubt the full 100. Others believe it may have been even more. The house itself became infamous, a symbol of how deeply evil can hide behind ordinary doors. In his final note, Javed Iqbal wrote, "I am not a madman. I did what the law could not, punish those who hurt me by destroying those like me." The letter ended with this ... "Now, your system may punish me, but I am done." And just like that, he vanished. The manhunt for Javed Iqbal was one of the largest in Pakistan's history at the time. Authorities released sketches, raided abandoned properties, and questioned former associates. Dozens of officers were assigned to trace his financial records, analyze his writings, and track acid purchases. Police began by interrogating known contacts and visiting surrounding cities. His letter had mentioned accomplices, including a teenager named Sajid and another boy named Ali. Both were eventually arrested and provided testimonies confirming key details. Despite these leads, Iqbal remained elusive for nearly 1 month. Tips poured in from across the country. Sightings in Rawalpindi, rumors of a suicide near the northern border, reports he had fled to Afghanistan. But on January 30th, 2000, Javed Iqbal walked into the office of the Daily Jang newspaper and turned himself in. His only words to journalists were, "I am Javed Iqbal. I kept my promise." Despite the handwritten records and acid-filled drums, the forensic investigation was severely limited. Pakistan lacked advanced DNA testing capabilities at the time. Many of the remains had been destroyed beyond recognition, leaving families without closure. Investigators collected fragments of bone and teeth from the drums, but only a few victims could be conclusively identified. Photographs, reportedly taken by Iqbal himself, helped link names to faces. Still, many families received no confirmation. A forensic examiner noted, "It was a crime designed to erase evidence, not preserve it." Even today, the list of 100 names stands mostly unverified, haunting and incomplete. In later years, international agencies reviewed the case as a possible study in serial pathology and mass victim targeting. But without tangible remains or reliable forensic archives, many questions remained unanswered. The acid had erased more than bodies. It had erased truth. The public response was immediate and intense. Panic swept through Lahore's lower-income neighborhoods, where families feared their sons could be next. Many kept children indoors. Others demanded justice on the streets. Vigils were held by parents of missing boys, with photographs held aloft under flickering candlelight. Religious leaders condemned the crimes from pulpits. Crowds gathered outside the Mozang house. Some tried to burn it down. Graffiti appeared on walls. "Hang Javed Iqbal publicly." The fear turned to fury. The nation had seen murders before, but never like this. The case dominated headlines for weeks. Newspapers published Javed's letter in full, triggering national outrage and debate. Television channels aired exclusive interviews with victims' families and crime scene footage. Talk shows debated how a man could kill 100 boys without being stopped. Some questioned law enforcement's failure to act earlier, especially given Iqbal's prior arrests. Others focused on the systemic neglect of poor children and how society itself had enabled the horror. The media didn't just report the story, they fueled the public's demand for punishment and made sure Javed Iqbal's name would never be forgotten. Though Javed Iqbal's confession seemed complete, many questions remained. Was he working alone? Some believed the crimes were too methodical for one man. 2 teenage accomplices, Sajid and Ali were arrested, allegedly used to lure victims. But were there more? Investigators speculated he may have had protection, perhaps from corrupt officials. He had previously avoided prosecution despite multiple arrests. Others questioned whether all 100 murders were real, or whether he had exaggerated for notoriety. Yet the acid drums, the photographs, and the haunting list of names seemed to support his claim. One theory suggested he had a vendetta, not just against society, but against the legal system itself. By killing boys from the margins, he had attacked the system that ignored them. But one thing remained certain. Whether the exact number was 90 or 100, the damage was real. Javed Iqbal's trial was swift and chilling. In March of 2000, a Pakistani judge delivered a sentence designed to mirror his crimes. He was ordered to be executed in the same manner as his victims, strangled, dismembered, and dissolved in acid. Publicly, the judge stated, "He shall be killed in the same way he killed the children." But the sentence was never carried out. On October 8th, 2001, before the execution, Javed Iqbal was found dead in his prison cell, hanging alongside his alleged accomplice. Authorities called it suicide, but many questioned the timing and the method. Some claimed it was a silencing. Others believed it was vigilante justice within prison walls. With his death, many answers died too. No full trial, no cross-examination, no appeals, just a quiet end to a very loud horror. Even today, so much remains unanswered. Were all 100 boys truly murdered? How many names on that wall were real? And how many lost to the fog of confession? Was Javed Iqbal acting alone? Or was he a piece in a darker network? Why did authorities fail to act on earlier warnings? And was justice ever truly served? These questions echo through time, unanswered and unsettling. Families still wonder. Some still search. And the house where it all happened, it was demolished. But the memory lingers. The case changed Pakistan. Public pressure led to reforms in child protection laws and intensified scrutiny of police negligence. Non-profit organizations expanded their reach, helping street children with food, shelter, and education. But scars remain. Many in Lahore still refuse to speak his name. Others use it as a cautionary tale, a reminder of what happens when society forgets its most vulnerable. Javed Iqbal's legacy is not just one of horror. It is a reflection of systemic failure and the voices left unheard. Did you catch the clue? What drove Javed Iqbal to confess so publicly and so precisely? Could a different turn of events have changed everything? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more true crime deep dives. As always, stay curious, stay vigilant, and stay safe.